What's going on, guys? Excalibur here, and we are back. Anvil, REFORGED, and Empyrion build series. We're still chugging away at this build. I don't know what to call it yet. I don't have a name for it yet. But we're just gonna keep on keeping on here with this build. I want to get this thing done, so I can get back into the server. I want to keep playing. I want to keep playing in the server, but I don't want to keep kind of doing the same thing over and over. I'm looking for, you know, new experiences with the update. I feel like, you know, we've only scratched about half of the possibilities here with REFORGED and you know, with the present update, and I definitely want to get all of it. So that requires building a meteor combat ship, and that's what we're doing. And you know, then after that, building the bigger carrier, the predecessor to the bar, which is going to be kind of our next deal. But if I can get this thing in, that gives me the ability to play in the server for, you know, weeks and weeks and weeks. And, you know, that's kind of how I look at the gameplay is, you know, the gameplay inspires the building. And we've built a lot of stuff this season, guys. You know, if you think back, we've built a lot of different things, you know, from the Gimlet all the way to the Landmine Mark III with the bar, with, you know, the update to the Becker, lots of other weird little Hell Planet builds and stuff that we were testing out, all these different things that we were testing out. We built a lot of things, and it's been an amazing season. I don't want anybody to think that season 4 for me is over, because it's not. We've done, I think, 48 or 49 streams in season 4 so far, and I honestly look to double that before thinking about ending the season. So, you know, I hope that, you know, my lack of Let's Plays over the past week or two hasn't made anyone think that, you know, I'm done for the season, because I'm not. I honestly want to do it all, man. I really do. I even want to do the progenitor stuff, if not just to get, you know, the cool stuff that goes with it, because I've never done it, right? So I just wanted to start out by saying that. Hope everybody's doing good. On YouTube there, I cannot read your name, sadly, but appreciate you being here. Welcome Teokar. We got a Drunk Mormon following us on Twitch. Appreciate that, man. Happy Saturn's Day to Thrusted as well. Been playing Star Valor for 3. Dude, I can't wait to get back into Star Valor. Like, I'm not even joking, dude. I half wanted to stream Star Valor today, but I really want to keep going with this build. But we'll definitely be doing some more Star Valor in the next week here. I am excited about that. It looks like we might have base tours tomorrow in the server, so I'm excited about that as well. I'm trying to get Donk, unfortunately can't make it. He's working and everything, but he's doing okay. And I'm waiting for Jay to check his Discord messages and then see if he's up for it. What's up, Puko and Crazy Z? I'd also like to point out that there's not too many people in this world that are as you know, just solid asshats as scammers. I just thought I'd put that out there. I can't stand scammers, dude. That shit is like the lowest of the fucking low. You know, personally attacked today by scammers, and I'm pretty pissed off, but I'm trying to you know, let's I'm really pissed right now. Like, it really hurts, dude. But yeah, we're just gonna keep going and see if we can't get somewhere with this and cheer up a little bit. So hope you guys are having a good Saturday. I did do some work on this a little bit on my own. I think that same evening I moved some of the stuff. I think, yeah, this is what I did. I kind of started shaping the outside to make it look a little better, because it was kind of this blunted thing like this. So we added some curve to it. I'm trying to add some shaping on the top, and then of course we just have a big flat thing under here, so we're definitely going to do some more shaping under here. I think this is going to give us an opportunity to get some cargo built into the bottom. I think we'll replace a lot of this with cargo, and then we'll have like some steps and stuff to scale out kind of some shaping on the bottom as well. When we moved over here, it was a solid idea, but the sun sucks over here, so this lighting just annoys the shit out of me. But I can't be asked to kind of move again. I might, I don't know. Oh, I think I did this too, like on my own. I don't know. We did some stuff. We're still, you know, we got a lot of stuff to do on this thing. A lot of shaping decisions. I'm still not sure about what I want to do in the front yet. Oh, the spade. It's not a bad idea, man. It's really not, because I mean, you know, a foldable. I want to say that's an interesting idea. Hold on. Hold on. That's a really interesting concept. In World War II, the soldiers of the 506 Parachute Infantry Regiment of the American 101st were marked with the spade symbol painted on the sides of their helmets. It was used to present good luck due to its fortunate connotations in card playing. Okay, that's not what I'm looking for, but that's cool. I want to say that a foldable spade was part of your normal loadout. Yeah. Oh, that's German. Okay. That's not what we're looking for. It's not working. Neat. The spade had many uses back in the day, especially during trench warfare. It wasn't the most effective melee combat weapon, but damn, it was handy. Yeah, see? So I kind of like that, dude, because the, you know, this build is definitely a little bit unconventional in its size and stuff, but it's going to have just a ton of multi-use, which the spade, obviously, its main use would be trench warfare, but then also combat. Yeah, just, you know, melee. I believe that one side of it was serrated and the other side might have been like etched or something, like bladed, to where you could use it, you know, as a as kind of an axe or a form of like a combat weapon. So I like it, dude. That's cool. Big hype to Garriman, man. Naming another one. I think that's a let me put that in before we digs. It does dig. It's a miner too, right? So there you go. Like, let's go. Literally and figuratively. Hell yeah. So yeah, let's take another walk tour of this real quick, see what we've accomplished so far. You come in here, you've got a nice kind of unconventional hangar. I'm really digging this style here. We'll definitely dress it up and make it look cool. And then we're going with a new concept interior wise. We're doing compartmentalized P-ways and stuff. This is going to be one of the engineering wings here, and this will be the second. None of this is written in stone. I mean, we'll obviously move this stuff around, I'm sure. And then there'll probably be cargo in there and stuff. I'm going to keep it... the idea is I don't want to have big, grand rooms. Like, I don't. I really don't. I want to really make it small and compartmentalized as much as possible, just like a real ship, you know. You know, you don't waste space when you're building a proper ship of any kind. And then you know, of course, literally, like, you know, US Navy background and everything. I mean, they build ships with compartments to you know, for damage control in case fires and stuff. You could segregate that risk and not lose too much of the ship. So same concept. McGinty, what's up, man? 19-month resub. It's doing good, dude. Reforge has been really solid this season. Burn out my last go because I got close to end and my save corrupted. Oh, dude. It looks like it's time for a restart, sir. Anvil, Reforge, Eden, community server. Let's go. Plenty of time to have an amazing season still, man. So definitely jump in. These are going to be our decon and constructor rooms. And then this will be our hangar. our quick hanger to get in like a proper auger or whatever. I mean, this could fit like a pretty decent size SV, I think. Not a very long one, but yeah, decent miner. I would say any 4G miner. Just about. And then let's see, we have upstairs, which I don't think we committed to an entrance yet, but we got kind of our core area here, which is combat steel sealed, and then for this, there's there's a couple options here, but mainly I think it'll be cargo. So actually, I think probably exclusively that'll be one cargo system there. So yeah, we got plenty of work to do, both interior and exterior. I think we're gonna chug away at some interior work today, so we can continue to balance this thing out and figure out exactly what it's gonna take to bring this thing in. You know, auxiliary core wise, quantum core. I am looking to make this a true 30 extended core build. I really want to give people all the room they want to really bleed CPU as much as they want in this build, while still being just a small little guy, right? So let's freaking do it. I'm looking 30, honestly. I mean, I've got room for 30 in here. So we've got aux core, quantum, and hamster cores. We've got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yeah, we got space for 30 cores in this bad boy. So let's freaking go, you know? Like, yeah, why not? It is what it is, man. People will people. Currently the shield capacity, so we don't have, it's 86,000 right now, but we don't have the small ones in yet, because I gotta implement them into the engineering areas here. But basically we've got 2 of each, the big ones, and then we've got all of the medium-sized ones, and then I'm gonna put all the small ones in. So I don't foresee myself putting all the big ones in. I mean, I don't know. It might happen to where I have the room for that, but I really don't see it. I might be able to move these completely out and put those in engineering and put big ones here too. I don't know yet. Well, there you go, Caraman. Maybe by the time I'm done with this, you'll have something to. We'll see, man. We'll see. But yeah, that's where we're at right now. Theoretically, I could move this side thruster, but I just feel like that'd be weird. I like where it is. Exactly, Darkest. Yeah, and that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to make sure that, because I don't know yet. I don't know what's required yet. I don't know what I'm fighting yet. I haven't, you know, there's certain things that I haven't soloed yet that I want to, you know, I want to make sure that I'm ready for it. So that's kind of where I'm at with the process here. Get our coffee brewed. What's up, little XCal? You got my phone? Slash your phone? Little punk. Darkest, damn it, you and this wipe word. I don't think Darkest should be allowed to say the word wipe. I really don't. I think, like, you know, even more than, I think maybe I'm the only exception as to somebody that if said wipe would be scarier, but I feel like Darkest, it's even a little scarier. Because most of you know I really don't have any pull when it comes to, like, the servers and what happens. Like, I really don't, you know? I don't know what's going on. You know, and that's by design, you know? Hands off, man. Like, listen, I was micromanaged for 30 years. I don't, you know, I'll be damned if I'm gonna do it here. You're the face. So this is kind of the thing. Do I want to enclose this in glass? I kind of don't. how do I want this to look? Like, that's kind of the thing here, right? Like, how many ways can this look? You said they're figured? No, Garriman, stop. I don't, well, no. I don't, there hasn't even been discussion, so. Wait, what, is there something I don't know that's going on that would require that? Now you guys are scaring me, like I don't even know what's going on here. What'd I walk into? Darkest, can you come and chat and reassure the viewers that you're just talking shit? Or if you're not, can you explain why? Just for me. I mean, it's not even for them, it's for me, because I'm scared now. Hey, what's up, man? Oh. Right. Oh wait, they can't hear you, Buko. Hold on, I'm sorry. They reset my audio settings. Hold on, I'm sorry. I love it when Discord and all that does that. Hold on. That's weird, because they should hear you, because I think I have it set the right way here. You guys can't hear him at all? Oh, that's why, probably. Well. Alright, talk now. Let's see if they hear you now.
Alright. Yeah.
Yeah! Yeah, I see you. I see the levels increasing when you talk, so it should be good now. There he is. Okay, cool.
Hey.
Alright.
So it is a wipe, but it's an empty playfield wipe. And that's what we had discussed, was the possibility of doing that so that the playfields that people didn't actually have stuff in could basically get refreshed. The issue with that is the way that the traders in REFORGED Eden work, that you have to unlock I'll say the more advanced traders. If those POIs are regenerated, then those traders become locked again and you have to unlock them again. So say you find one and you have to go get him 40 filters for him to unlock, well, you'll have to go find the 40 filters again. So that's why we haven't done a galaxy wipe, well, an empty playfield wipe yet. However, the good news is I think in one of the most recent updates, Elion has implemented a variable in there that should allow it to happen as long as Vermilion updates the traders with that variable. So long story short, we're still talking about it. It's just we have to figure out the way to do it, and it may be a bit of a pain in the butt for people still playing on the server that have already unlocked those traders.
Okay, so the short story of it, guys, is he's not talking about a server wipe, which is what I was scared of. He's talking about clearing the areas that haven't been played on, you know, or don't have bases on, so that, you know, it's undiscovered again, and, you know, just more opportunity to amass more full boxes of awesomeness. That's all he's talking about, guys. All right. So yeah.
The biggest benefit to it will be places like drone space, the black holes, those kind of things. Any of the special encounter sites, as long as people didn't leave cores on stuff.
So I feel like this is a personal attack towards me.
No. There's a good amount of people that have left cores on stuff across the galaxy.
Oh, okay. Well, cool. Not just me.
So,
all right. Yeah. So, all right. So that's, So I feel like instead of calling that a wipe, because wipe's a scary word, man. And it's borderline like moist. Like I hate that word. It's a horrible word. Like, and when it comes to games, when it comes just everything in general, it just feels gross. Can we call it like a server refresh, like a playfield refresh? Can we call it something a little more technical so it doesn't scare me? I don't know if other people are scared, but I'm terrified when you say wipe.
The actual command for it that we use is called an empty playfield wipe.
Oh well, I don't. Who cares? I mean, if that's the case, I mean, in Unix, kill means, I mean, what are we saying here?
Yeah, we can use like server refresh.
Yeah, just playfield refresh, not even server. I feel like server is a scary word too. Let's just say playfield refresh. Just for the snowflakes, man, like me. Come on.
Yeah,
I get scared, and I just, I want to throw my arms up and build a new starter HV as soon as you say that. So.
Yeah, so it's still on my radar to do. I just have to figure out the best way to do it, whether that is basically giving a heads up to the whole community and saying if you have traders unlocked in systems, you're going to have to unlock them again. I just have to figure out the best way forward for that.
Yeah, so that does hurt. I mean, it doesn't hurt me because I haven't done that yet, but I know it hurts people because that is a real end game, mid game kind of grind that's fun for people, but I don't know how fun it would be to do that over. It's not one of those, things that it's like, hey, this is really fun, I want to do that again. Like, I did it and it was great and now I get to enjoy it. I don't want to have to go back and...
Yeah, a bunch of people had to deal with it when we went to the 1.8 update because they just, the way that Elion did it actually reset a bunch of those traders, so... Because those variables got lost and people had to re-unlock stuff, kind of like how the character classes all got screwed up, and...
Mm-hmm.
So, it's just a case of making sure that people have enough heads up and... before we do it.
Nice. So how you doing otherwise, man?
Busy with work.
Yeah. It's been going around, man.
Yeah, just yeah. Busy, people on holidays, so you're covering for them, and luckily one more week and then I get to go on holidays, so.
Oh, nice. Anywhere special or just taking time off?
Just taking time off and then spend some time with my parents and
sweet.
Just not thinking about work.
Yeah, that's the trick, right?
Yeah. If I get adventurous enough, maybe do some stuff around the house and you know how it goes.
Project type, yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Did you saw that Star Valor stream I did?
I didn't get to actually watch that stream. I want to go back and just take a peek at it. And
it's pretty cool, man. It's like it's a pretty cool, chill looking game, actually. Like, I just want to mention it enough because Dragon's had me play a bunch of games, and this is the first one where I'm like, oh, it's a solid looking game. Like, it's great. I mean, there's been others where, Valheim. I think there was a couple where I was like, yeah, this is a good game, but there's certain things I don't love about it. But yeah, I'm actually kind of excited to go back and play some more of this. And it was cool because the first stream I did in it, the dev actually came in. It's a one-man team or whatever, and he came in, and that was pretty cool. That's never happened in Empyrion before. Well, not that I know of. I mean, never been vocal, right? That'd be weird. What if the devs watch all my streams? I don't like the thought of that, actually. That scares me a little bit. I don't know why. Well, I doubt that's happening, but what if that was? Wouldn't that be creepy? Like, I'm just talking shit every day. I'm still gonna talk shit. I mean, that's not gonna stop me.
Well, yeah, if you didn't talk shit, you wouldn't be XCal.
Oh, well, yeah.
I mean it in a good way.
Yeah, but you know, listen. Like, I was the only guy that wasn't talking shit in the beginning. Like, I was the main cheerleader here. I was like, come on, guys. You know, they're doing their best. And then, you know, it just, yeah. I mean, every once in a while, you know, it just happens where, you know, you just keep doing, you know, keep doing nonsense. And then, you know, start to question who's driving and, you know, just, eh.
Yeah.
They watch, they cry, which is why they can't talk. No, I think they really think, I mean, and that's the thing, right? Like, we all have our opinions, but at the end of the day, like, I don't know, maybe they think they're doing great. Maybe they think that we're ridiculous. I mean, I don't see how, but, you know, you never know. I mean, people are different, right? Maybe they feel that, you know, what they're doing is right on brand, and I don't know. I'm reaching, but I'm trying to make it make sense. I just want it to make sense. Honestly, like, that's all I want. I just want it to make sense. If, you know, like, if there was, because you've had those where you were really passionate about your opinion, and it's like, no, there's no way. And then, like, you get this other opinion, you're like, oh, well, okay, I guess that makes sense. That's what I want. I want that moment with Empyrion. Be like, oh, okay, so that's what you guys are trying to do. Okay, I mean, yeah. I can buy that. That makes sense. I just haven't, I haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I'm always interested to see what's coming and when they do their 1.9 player controller rework to see what all that's going to entail and see where they go from there. So that's the big Christmas update that they said they're reworking the whole player controller. Don't know what all that entails because all they've pretty much said is just reworking it. So
what does that even mean? What does that statement even mean?
I'm pretty sure that's how the player moves, interacts.
Are you serious?
That kind of stuff. Yeah.
What if they like ruin it? Like, like, I'm just saying, like, I mean, I don't want to be pessimistic because I'm an optimist. You guys know that I'm an optimist, but bro, like, what if they make it unplayable? What if it just becomes really freaking bad and like we can't even like build right anymore? What if it gets really annoying to build? I'm terrified with shit like that, dude, because I just think about it and I go, bro, like, what if I don't want to build in this game anymore because it's so agonizing? Like Space Engineers, right? Like, I would love to build in Space Engineers, but it just, like, there's little things that just make it really annoying, like the blocks and, you know? Like, not necessarily lack of shapes, but just how you get to the shapes. It's kind of annoying. This process is so, you know, once you're used to it, it's amazing. Like, oh god, what if they do something? I mean, it's a full release game. What are they doing? I just, you know, like, why don't they start Empyrion 2 or something? I don't know, do something over there with that. Right? I mean, well, what if it's good? What if, okay, you know what? We'll go the other way. What if it's amazing? What if they do something that's just freaking amazing? You know?
Carmen says to breathe.
I mean, I'm just, yeah, I don't know. Fine. I'm a little scared, though. I'm a little concerned.
It's a wait and see what happens.
Okay, let me ask you a random question. How long do you foresee yourself playing Empyrion Galactic Survival?
That all depends.
Well, no,
'Cause-
forget about depends. Just, I mean, fine, depends on your opinion of what happens. Put that in your answer, but you don't necessarily have to clarify that. Just, you know, that's the whole question, to be honest. Like, I guess that comes with the caveat of, is the game going to get ruined? Is it going to stay the way it is without any new content? You know, are they going to continue to muffle mod content? You know what I mean? Like, I want to know your answer based on those factors.
Okay, so at the end of the day, it's a game that currently I will always come back to, even if I step away from it for a bit, whatnot. The whole being able to build your own ships, go in, well, in my case, build your own POIs, put it into the scenario stuff, that kind of stuff. It's great. But example, lately, it's been on the shelf for me just because the most recent patches, there's been so many bugs with them that I finally just got to the point that I'm like, I just need to take a break. But I know down the road at some point I'll come back to it. So it's not like I've completely walked away from it. I've got, I think it's my most played game on Steam, so I know I'm always going to come back to it. There's always new things that I can play around with for the Anvil server, that kind of stuff, and that's what I think kind of helps refresh it as well, is I dabble away in all more of the technical side of things too.
So, see, that right there is how I feel, right? But, see, that's what also scares me. Is, you know, the fact that you can come in and you can express yourself creatively in this game. Like, you know, it could be anything. You can go watch a TV, a sci-fi show, and it happens to me all the time, and I'll just get inspired to want to go build something based off of what I saw on the show. It just gives me the urge to do that. But what if it, you know, what if they don't understand that that's their cheat code? That's why people still play the game. What if they don't understand that? What if they don't get that that's the whole reason people have thousands of hours in this game? It's not for the content. Now, you know, some people it is. Some people it's the grind. It's all the different things you can do in the universe. It's using other people's ships, but it's still tied to the creator. So that gameplay where people don't build, but they use other people's builds, there's plenty of people, you know, that play like that. There's plenty of people in Anvil that play like that. And that's great. And that's part of the game, but it all stems from that creator that builds the builds on the front end and on the back end, because on the back end you have Vermilion, you have Ravian, you have you know, alpha testers and stuff. I guess full release testers, whatever you want to call them. You got all those guys that put in the work, building things to test the game, building things to be put into the game as stock. And those people have to be inspired to create that art, the same way artists have to be inspired to render things in the game, like Bobbin and stuff. You know, there has to be inspiration there. There has to be a need. There has to be other people to you know, give that creativity to, that want to use it. You know, I feel that Bobbin, you know, when we're screaming like, oh my god, we need a new deconstructor, this is amazing, that's what's fueling him to want to make one. I mean, it's for him too, but it's also that's really fun, you know, to do something for somebody and them get a real kick out of it, right? Like, that's really what it's all about. And what if Elion doesn't understand that that's why people play their game? That's my biggest fear. I don't know. That didn't really require an answer. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like, that's what scares me the most about Elion, because they move like they don't understand that. i.e., they don't care about the workshop, do nothing to it for it. Like, there's no maintenance of any kind of the workshop, even when people volunteer to completely rebuild it for nothing. You know, like, they're like, meh, not really a big idea, you know, it's fine, like, whatever, it'll be fine on its own, you know? And, you know, that's why a lot of people don't play anymore, is because the workshop makes no sense. It doesn't work, you know? It only works for the people that know how to make it work for them. You know, and hats off to all of them, you know? I mean, you look at, you know, there's a reason why the same people are on the front most of the time, and it's because they understand how to play the workshop. But there's builders out there that are just as good that you don't see because they don't know how to play the workshop, and they just save their build, and that thumbnail happens to be the thumbnail you see in the workshop. They don't know any better. And the workshop to me is the biggest asset this game has. And it's not being taken care of at all. It's not being maintained. It's not being cleaned up. It's not being, there's the simple thing with tying the even like the red, not the red, but if there was a way, like I said, the subcategories would just be phenomenal. Being able to search for a artist or a builder on the workshop, like type in J Randall and J Randall comes up, would be amazing. But I think that's more of a Steam thing, fine. But being able to see if a build works in the present patch without having to spawn it in, if it just says that compatible with current update, that would solve so many things. And then if you could search by that, if you could filter by that, these are the tools we need, right?
Yeah.
That should have been done 5 years ago, 4 years ago. So I don't know. And that I don't know. That was a rant, right? I just I don't know. Every time I load this game, I think about shit like that though. Like every time I load this game up, I go, why am I loading this game up? And I remind myself it's because I love the creativity of the game. That's why I play this game. That's why I do content for this game. Yeah, regardless of whatever games I play, if I decide to play Green Hell one day, I'm always gonna come back here. I always have an idea for a ship brewing in my head. And, I've been thinking that way for years now. And I think a lot of us have. I think a lot of us, that's somewhere we go to when we have 5 minutes in our day to think about it. Like maybe you're just doing real life, but then, you take a little time, you go, that's an interesting idea for a ship, and you save it and you get home and you implement it. And that's what this game has taught us to do. I don't, you know what I mean? I don't want to lose that, right? Like that's, yeah.
Yeah, I think if you lose that kind of stuff, it's going to be a big hit to the game.
Well, see, yeah, I mean, this is
It's a raid.
Hey, Ravenok, what's up, man? Thanks for that raid, sir. This is a building game first, full stop, period. This is a building game first. Most important thing about this game when addressing it is that it's a building game. And I feel like everything they've done has, I don't know, I mean, and that could mean two things. That could mean they believe that the building is good and there's nothing that really needs to be done with it. And they need to catch up on everything else, which I guess you're not wrong, but like, I'm not seeing... Crouch to me was the one standout thing, right? Like, but I'm not seeing anything else like that. Unless somebody can remind me of something else they've done on that level. I mean, that's about it, I think, right? Like, what else has been done other than graphically and fix the bugs that they created the patch before, I guess? But, like, what bugs have been fixed from years ago? All right, Raven, catch you later, man.
As long as our ships don't go flying off on their own again, I will be happy.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that just comes from a lack of having budget to purchase new assets, you know. But that's the problem, is they're thinking. I think they're thinking wrong, you know. Like, you have Bobbin, you have, you know, I mean, and not just Bobbin. I mean, you know, if you hire somebody that can do that work. I mean, but yeah, I mean, maybe the budget's just not there for that. Maybe that's just part of it. Maybe they just, and I would totally understand that. But I think the gamble they did going full release was to drum up budget, right? And I don't think it paid off, but I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen any numbers or whatever. I'm not privy to any of that, so I don't know. But I wouldn't assume that did much. I mean, would you? I don't know. I don't think. I mean, I know there was a bit of an influx, maybe, but
Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't say one way or the other. I know personally, like, I haven't played the game a super long time. I can't even remember when I got the game. I think I've only been maybe coming up on 2 years playing the game.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So, and you know, like, I had talked to Neuro about this all the time, because he started playing. Oh, that's beautiful. I love that block. He started playing prior to, or, you know, after Weights and Volumes, and after, you know, CPU and Cargo. And so, you know, I mean, it's that I don't know any better. You know, I don't know what it was like before. You know, and, you know, I remember the mass exodus when Weights and Volumes happened. And, you know, I think about it now and I'm like, you know, it's ridiculous. Like, imagine, like, for you, right? Like, you never knew anything but Weights and Volumes, right? So, like, imagine having an SV, a starter SV, with 4 cargo boxes. I'm not even talking about, like, container controllers, but just 4 cargo boxes. And imagine having, you know, whatever, 20, 30, 40 slots that you could fill with stacks of ore. An SV. Just a regular, you know, little wingy SV, like, whatever. Imagine playing the game like that. Like literally all you needed was an HV or an SV on a starter planet, and you could live out of that shit. Like, there's no, you know what I mean? Like, there's nothing stopping you. Yeah, and that was it. Like, once you got off the starter planet, you were kind of done, because what did you need the big CV for? The big CV was pure RP. I mean, there was really no use for it back then. Like, it was to move the HV to the next planet to do the same thing. There was a fun factor of combat and stuff with the HV, and, you know, that's what fueled a lot of my building, because I enjoyed fighting with tanks, coming from World of Tanks and stuff, right? So I enjoyed that. But now it's like, you know, there's so much more purpose around building, you know, like, especially in Reforged. So I don't know, that always cracked me up when all these, oh, you know what, the game's not what it was anymore, it's not creative anymore. Like, no, it's totally that now. Now you actually have to build for purpose, for function. It fuels building. You actually need, you know, the 20 SVs you have in your hangar for no reason. You know? Like, oh, this ship looks cool, I'm gonna spawn this in for no reason. You know, and it's, yeah. Now, like, you need 4 or 5 different ships.
Yeah, and I'm not dissing anyone that plays with weights or volumes off, but like you said, that's all I've known, and I don't know if I could ever play it without weights and volumes.
So get this. This is what I'm getting to this with this whole weights and volumes thing is, it's still not default in the game. That's what blows my mind, and that's one of the things that makes me wonder who's driving the ship. Weights and volumes has been a thing since Alpha 9. We went to Alpha 16 and then we went to full release. Like, that's years and years of development that's been a thing. Yet the default toggle is off for weights and volumes, and for for CPU. These things are options that you have to opt into. And who even knows what that means when you're first playing the game? So,
now,
go ahead.
If I can jump in here for a second, I can understand the default off on the CPU, so that you don't have someone brand new to the game, starts up a game, spawns in a ship, and the ship instantly blows up because it's over CPU. I can see it from that aspect.
That's workshop management, though. See, that's part of that workshop thing. Like, that's why they have to focus on the workshop, so that doesn't happen to new players. But I'm with you on that. That's their little hot fix for that, right?
Yeah.
It's easier for them to just do that.
I do personally agree or think that weights and volumes should be defaulted to on and not off.
It's insane. It's criminal, because you get people that jump into the game and they thoroughly enjoy the game, but they're playing with weights and volumes. And then when you tell them try it without, they can't. They're like, no, what? I'm not doing that, because they're used to it. It's a hard pill to swallow when you've been accustomed to playing that way. It actually seems kind of cruel to do that after the fact. It's like, wait, what? You mean, oh, I don't want to play like that. That's hard mode. It's it's like people that start a new game in easy mode, casual mode, and they're like, I'm just trying to get a feel of the game. But then everything from normal up is going to seem really hard for you. But if you jump into the fire and go into normal to advanced from the jump, that's your first impression of that game. And from there, it is what it is. I don't know. That's just always been my mentality. But I just don't get why the developers don't. That Band-Aid's already been pulled off years ago. But now there's a whole new generation of Empyrion players that have been molded the same way the old players were molded to ignore weights and volumes. And that's what I don't get. That Band-Aid should have fully been ripped off the day that happened. It's I don't know, it's such a weird decision. And I don't even think they understand that that's what that's doing. It's all about game balance, right? It's all about first impressions, and yeah, I don't know. Well, so CPU was implemented to balance shipbuilding, I guess. I think that was their intention. It was to balance shipbuilding, I mean, it was to prevent certain OP aspects, and honestly, I forget. Yeah, I kind of forget what CPU's main goal was in the beginning. There was a reason for it back then. I mean, I guess I could go watch one of my rants from 2 years ago, but it was maybe that'd be a fun stream. Just go watch some of my past rants, but I feel like I'd have to look through so much of my content, I'd get annoyed. Maybe like watch the what was that first? Didn't I do a Q&A for the first time CPU was a thing? Maybe go back and watch that. That'd be funny to watch, right? Because I was all for it back then, man. CPU, I was like, yeah, it's fine. It's gonna be great. Yeah, any weights and volumes is a no-brainer. It's funny, I said I was gonna do interior and I did all exterior or something.
Isn't that how it goes?
Yep. We're looking at Aztec scripts, but currently in season 4 we do not. But I think we are looking at that, right? Darkest? It's at least being talked about, I think.
It's been talked about, yes.
Yeah, it's being talked about, guys. Who actually does that? Is that a thing? Is that something that has to be maintained?
A mod, so you got Aztec who makes it and does updates to it and changes.
And that's it, right? Like, it's, we have a long-standing relationship with Ravian and Vermilion, and I understand their focus, and they have that, they have that, we have that trust, I guess is the word for it, right? Like we trust that they are continuing to forge their path and everything, and we go with it, and we've dedicated all of our server seasons to Reforged Eden because we could take that to the bank, right? So I guess it becomes that, are they going to be continuing to update that mod? And that, for me anyway, that's kind of how I feel about it. Me not really even knowing what the hell that is. I think it's something to do with like more wizardry and magical cargo sorting and stuff, right? Isn't that what that is? Something to do with that?
Yeah,
Automation?
it gives you like dynamic displays for cargo containers and
that
automatic
so that's cool.
fueling and.
But say we do that, and then they just never update one time. They go like, we just never hear from them again. And it's like, could that potentially ruin a season?
No, it installs. My understanding is it installs the same way like how we have Encryptoids mod installed for the Tetherport.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
so,
okay.
So it doesn't really touch any of the scenario files or the save game. It's basically just affects people's ships that you have to have like 2 LCDs in order to display the stuff on one LCD, and I don't know how it all goes. I played around with it a little bit, but I haven't done much with Astic before, so.
Gotcha. Alright, cool, man. I mean, we'll definitely check it out. I think we are. I think there's other admins too that have talked about it, so.
Other ones have brought it up, and I think it's just that discussion that we need to have overall for some people that are more familiar with it. So I'll say at this point it's a possibility, but it's not a yay or nay yet.
Ah. There we go. I mean, to me, it does sound cool. It sounds like a reason to have bases and, doing interesting things. So. Is there any kind of exploit possibilities with it?
That's what has to get looked into.
Yeah.
And that's really the determining factor with a lot of the stuff that we add onto the server is to not add in any exploits.
Yeah. And that's it. I mean, it really comes down to stuff like that. Like, there's so many things that would be cool, but you have to look at it from a server standpoint, not necessarily just a play standpoint. Whereas, like, if you were playing in a single player with it, there's no risk, right? But you have to balance a server to prevent exploits in most ways, right? Because it's at a detriment to other players if you don't.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, it's whatever decisions we take, we're taking into consideration the longevity of the server as well. We don't want to add stuff in there that, you're going to have to do a server wipe in 2 months because it just gets overwhelmed from something or whatnot. We try to make sure that whatever we're adding in basically takes into consideration how long a season runs on the Anvil server.
Right. So, as far as season 4 goes, like, how do you feel about it? Like, I feel like I'm interviewing you, but I'm not. I'm just trying to, I have thoughts, and I have, and I just, it's just good to hear it from somebody else's perspective, right? Like, how do you feel season 4 has been in comparison to, like, season 3 and before?
From my point of view, I
totally.
think it's pretty much on par with, I guess, our season 3. I definitely say our season 3 and season 4 were definitely better than season 1 and 2.
Right.
There's still kinks to work out and everything to make better for the next season, but overall, I think most people have been content. I was content with where I got to before I kind of took a break from the game, and I don't know, things are just constantly getting that little bit better. We'll see what season 5 brings, but not to say that my season 4 is done yet. I just need a little bit of a refresh, and then I'll be back in and figure out where I was and carry on from there.
So do you think the format's pretty solid, like doing the long wipe thing, or do you think do you think that there's a argument for having a smaller season?
My opinion, there's an argument for both. The long server is nice because there's a lot of players that have takes them a bit to get established. Once they're established, they like to just take their time, do their things. So there's a benefit in that aspect. And you got other players that within, let's say, a month, they're done their gameplay and they're just sitting around waiting for the next season. But nothing says that those players that are just sitting around waiting can't do a fresh start, say halfway through the season, or when they decide, oh yeah, I'm ready for a new start. So I think the longevity is good, but I think we do it at just about, like, I wouldn't want to push it any longer than what we've normally been running for, about that 6-7 month kind of time frame.
Yeah. This is an argument I have with myself a lot. I mean, I don't literally talk to but you know what I mean. I think about it. The easy answer is to force endgame players to try to get to endgame and get everything they want out of the game when they're so thorough. Like, there's people in the server right now that are halfway done. Like, they've got so much more to do, and it's been months and months, and they're not close to done with. Like, they've got a lot of things that they want to accomplish. They're very thorough. There's endgame players that have done everything they want to do, and now they're just kind of repeating it for, just because. But that overall enjoyment is not as great as it was a month ago. And then there's people like me that might never get to some of that stuff because they struggle kind of with a lot of the mid-game stuff and limited play time, all these things, right? So that's the obvious answer. Would be like, it wouldn't make sense to have like a 2-month season. But then I think about it and I go, like, I compare it to Rust, right? Rust wipes at a minimum once a month. Most servers wipe in a week. So then you think, like, a week, but there's so much to do in Rust. There's so many things you can accomplish in Rust. But what people do is they focus on one thing per wipe. Like, one wipe, they're just gathering blueprints for the next wipe. The other wipe, maybe, hey, I want to start doing the military bunkers, but then they're not doing everything in the same wipe. And you go, well, maybe the whole enjoyment for them is to do everything in one wipe. And if you put a limit on that time, it makes that impossible and they don't want to play. So I don't know. I don't know if if we had the ability to carry things over between wipes in some way. I don't necessarily mean things like resources, but maybe like levels and vendors and stuff like that. Like, it would be cool, I think, to have like a shorter wipe, but I think there's certain like game mechanics that prevent us from kind of giving that as an option, I think, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's like, I see most servers wipe about 3 months. That's pretty much, from my experience, what I see as the I guess, the average wipe time for a season of Empyrion. So we go basically double that. I don't know. Some people like the early start game, so carrying stuff over would be really might deter them.
Right.
I don't know.
I don't mean resources. I never mean I never mean like you keep your stuff. That would be boring. But achievements, things like that.
Yeah, the hardest part with the community server, I would say, is balancing it to where everybody is content to play on it. Like, yes, you have people that finish in a week. You have people that even at the 6-7 month mark when we finally do the server wipe, they say, "Hey, I didn't get to endgame yet." You just got to balance it out there, and I think we strike that balance well. Are there things we could do better? Probably. But that's what it comes to when you have such a variety of people playing on a server together.
Dude, I think it's insane that we're able to do what we're doing now, right? Like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not missing the fact that that's incredible that we're having this conversation. Like, you know, we've got this really successful server, and we have these great seasons where tons of people come in and play that have completely different interests in the game. Now, how can we make it even better? Like, that's the conversation we're having right now, and that's not lost on me, right? Like, that's a pretty awesome conversation to be able to have. Not, you know, how do we get people into our server? There's like 10 of us. That's not, you know, that's not the thing. The thing is, like, you know, we have a successful, you know, and then, yeah, you know, mid season, it does die down, and that's because, you know, people have different focuses. Some people are done. Some people are like, okay, I did that. I did what I wanted to do. I'm ready for like another wipe. Let me go check out another server. Let me do a single player. Let me go play something else. Come back, wipe, start over, whatever. And then there's people that, like I said, are still in the heat of it. You know, getting what they want out of the game. So, but yeah, I think we should always be looking for ways to enrich the gameplay even more, right? So.
Yeah, well, for sure.
Like Script, there you go. Script, for instance. Script can build whole planets in months and be done and want to come back and do it again, so. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, the game's not. It's an open world game. I mean, at its heart, it's completely open to where different people have different, completely different opinions on what finishes a game for them, and you know, that's kind of the beauty of it. And I really hope it stays that way, because that again, that is the reason why people play this game is for that. It's not, you know, if they make that decision for us, the game will die. You know? If they go, oh, the focus of the game should be the missions. Or the focus of the game should be, you know, I mean, imagine that. Like, imagine me having to go do missions to progress in the game, and that was my only option. I don't know what I would do, honestly.
Alright, Season 5, XCal can only do missions to progress.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, that would... Dude, I don't know what I would do. I mean, if that was the requirement, but everything else was still, I guess I'd have to adjust, because I don't think that would kill my. It would hurt. It would definitely hurt, man. But you know, anytime you, especially in a fully released open world building game, you know, you suddenly, God, that would hurt, man. I'm not saying that's a thing. I'm just, I don't know. I'm always gonna have my concerns when things are being changed in a game that's supposed to be fully released on that level, you know? Like it always gonna concern me a little bit. They did the same thing to Warrock, man. Never forget Warrock. I was a beta tester for that game for like 2 years. That recruitment video I got on YouTube, my first video ever, that was Warrock. And I love that game to death. And then when it got fully released, they changed the entire game. And then they put like a subscriber thing on it to where you had to pay $10 a month to play it. Bro, I was done. Like, this is not World of Warcraft. What in the freaking hell? Bro, oh my god, I'm so upset.
I think I've only ever played one game that was subscription based, and I played it for, I think, about 2 months, and I said enough of that, and that was World of Warcraft.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to say, well, yeah, World of Tanks for me. I guess that was the only one I ever really paid into every month.
Like, yeah, I've played other games that you can pay for stuff in-game and whatnot, but I've never done any other games that are like, if you don't pay your monthly subscription, you can't access it.
Right. Yeah, no. Yeah, like, I didn't have to pay for World of Tanks. Like, it wasn't a requirement, but you kind of have to, if that makes sense. Like, yeah, I mean, you could grind it out, but
so it was kind of like a premium time almost.
Yeah, so if you have a subscription, then you get more XP for every game. You get, you know, there's
okay, yeah,
yeah,
like a premium account time kind of thing.
Yeah.
I've done games where it has that. Like, I've done War Thunder.
Right. Yeah. So War Thunder's a direct competitor of World of Tanks.
Yeah.
So same deal. Yeah. I stopped playing World of Tanks because they're just kind of scammy at this point, man. Like, they come out with a new tank. You love the tank. You grind for months to get it, and then you get it, and then they nerf it, and then they come out with another cool tank. Rinse and repeat. And it's like, bro, like, this tank was totally different when you brought it out, and now you want to hide behind balancing it is the reason why I nerfed the hell out of it, and it sucks now. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, yeah. I fell for that at least like 6 times before I was like, all right, nope, done.
And I don't know. I keep coming back to the fact that, like, your one question there, I'll always come back to Empyrion, just because there's such a variety of stuff that you can do in the game. If you want to just sit there and build ships to no end, great. If you want to go in, run POIs, you can. If you want to just fly around, you can. And I think that's what keeps bringing me back to it. And I really hope that they don't break that.
Yeah. No, totally. Yeah, me too. And I mean, I don't think that's what's gonna happen. Because I guess if I really passionately thought that was gonna happen, I'd probably find ways to pull away now. But nah, I don't. I just. But then I just want to be reassured, I guess. Like, I'd really love to get inside their heads for like a day. I'd love to watch an interview of them like explaining something.
I'm just waiting to see. I guess what I'm looking forward to is, yes, I know it's coming in the 1.1 update, which is basically the player rework kind of stuff. But I'm curious that, okay, they've done basically planet decorations. They've done whatever other stuff. What are they going to move on to now? Are they going to maybe try to fix missions in multiplayer, or just what they're going to do? Do they think they've got all the starting stuff done, so now they can focus on later in the game? Or
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, knowing their timeline would be cool, but I honestly, like, I'd only maybe have 2 questions or so for them. I mean, one would be, when would you consider the game complete? Like, what are the end goals of the overall focus of the game? Like, what do you consider? You know what I mean? Not necessarily like the small things. I guess that maybe is a timeline, but you know, what are you trying to reach that you're not able to? And you know, because there's something to be said about the game being done and then the game living on, you know, via mods, you know. But the whole problem with mods now is that they're still making monumental changes to the core game that directly affects mods. So you've got REFORGED, who is riding along with development and being able to adjust on the fly, but then you have, you know, other mods that maybe don't have that same hands-on relationship or whatever, that maybe, you know, they can't kind of continue in that same vein, right? Like, it's harder for them to keep up. And then you just have, you know, you don't really have a lot of mod support either, right? To kind of promote people making mods, you know. But if you did, like, you take like Half-Life or Battlefield or something, like there's this community of just modding that just makes, you know, you look at Space Engineers, perfect example. Literally where this game came from was Space Engineers, and you look at the success they have with mods. I mean, it's amazing what people do with mods and Space Engineers, and how the game is so much better. And you know, you even look at games like Ark, and you know, mod communities as a whole are proven to, you know, make the game last virtually forever. You know, why are people still playing Ark? Because of mods, you know. You know what I mean? And that's like every game that has mods, like, that's the answer. Would people still be playing Space Engineers vanilla? Would people still, you know what I mean? I think the answer is probably no. Maybe like a really fringe core, you know, whatever. But adding mods, like, you know, so the fact that we're surviving with only 1 mod, it's something to be said about the game as a whole in comparison to the others. But there's gonna reach a point where I feel like they need to jump on that train, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it will be, I guess, maybe it's going to be that point when they're finally figure, hey, they're done with the game, then they're just going to open it up. I don't know.
Yeah, here's hoping, man.
All that I can say is Season 4 is underway, and we still have new people joining all the time, so Season 4 will be going on for still some time.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I don't even know when I would do, you know, like, I'll eventually probably do a reset at some point. But I don't know why I would do that now. Like, I still have so much to do. And there's so much that I haven't done in this game that I want to accomplish in this season. You know, why would I start over? It's like what I did the other day when I played Green Hell. I was like, yeah, I'm just going to start a new game real quick, and then I'll get to see this new husbandry stuff and all that. And then I was like, wait, why did I do that? Like, now I got to do all this over again, and I've already done this. Why am I doing this again? Like, that's kind of how I feel about, you know, why would I do that in the season? Why not just continue on and reach some of these things I haven't reached before? But yeah, I think it definitely does take some creativity too, right? Like, you gotta have some kind of interest in maybe, you know, maybe not necessarily RP, but something like that, I guess, to drive justifying, doing that, because eventually your boxes are full. You don't need any more silicon. Like, what are you really doing? So then it becomes goal-oriented. It becomes unlock-oriented. It becomes something that's driving you to want to go do these things. Dude, and honestly, Gato, like, that is literally the conundrum. This is and will always be, I think, the most well-rounded, thorough, open-world space survival building game ever. Like, I honestly don't think we're ever gonna see another game get to this point as we've seen Empyrion. I think honestly, the genre will die, or it will mutate into something different, but I don't foresee any other game in the future getting to this point. I've seen, I thought Starbase was gonna do something. I thought I'm still hoping Starship Evo somehow gets to this point, but it's such a there's so many factors that, and luck and all these things. And listen, this isn't a popular game. This game is not popular. People don't know this game. People know Ark. People know Valheim. People know a lot lesser games than this game. This game has more than any of those games. In the survival genre alone, I don't think any other game touches Empyrion. And I'm not just saying that because, I'm an Empyrion streamer. This game does everything decent, and it does building great. No other game can say that, like, Space Engineers is a proof of concept game. It doesn't have POIs, it doesn't have enemies, it doesn't have it doesn't have a lot of the content and stuff that this game has. No other game comes close than this, as far as building goes. I mean, Minecraft might be like the closest thing, and it doesn't compete either, right? Like, it just doesn't. But the problem is, this was not marketed well. They don't have marketing. They go on sale on Steam and hope people, look at it or something. But honestly, like, if they marketed it and if they used content creators properly, this would have gotten a big pop for full release. Like, this would have been like 7 Days to Die, where, now 7 Days is so big. When it started, it was Minecraft. It was really ugly and really small. And look at what it's become now, and look how big their development team is now, and their artists, and their, because they did that properly. And it's upsetting. It hurts, man, because this is what we got. And that's why we're still here, because there's no alternative. If there was an alternative to Empyrion that did everything this game has, would we all still be playing this? I don't know. Yeah, so aspects of Ark are more complete, definitely, totally, man. I mean, there's more fleshed out things in Ark, and the dinosaur thing is amazing. And I'm just talking about a vanilla Ark. I'm not talking about the mods. That's a whole different thing. But as far as a vanilla game goes, the environment's richer, the dinosaur thing is richer. But all in all, Empyrion still has more. I think there's still more to explore. There's more. It has more content, but the problem is the balance. There's no drive sometimes, especially in vanilla, to get to that content. Leveling makes no sense, but there's things in Arks that make no sense either. I don't want to babysit a bunch of eggs for months on end to get, I mean, God, that just, it's insane. The crafting sucks. The building sucks. Like, the only cool thing about Ark is the dinosaurs, and I don't want 100 of them. Bro, I don't want 100 dinosaurs, you know? I want a dinosaur, you know, it'd be cool if I could teach a dinosaur to do different things. That'd be cool. But I don't want 50 million freaking dinosaurs in a fridge full of eggs. I don't want it.
Why not?
No, I don't want it. It's too much. God, I've got 50,000 baby this, but it's not perfect. I need this perfect one, and that makes me insane.
Yeah, my buddy and I got into Ark, and that's the part that bugs me. It's like, oh, well, you could go fight something with this dinosaur, but you need to breed them so you can get the perfect stat, so that it's not gonna get like one shot, and it's like,
Yeah, that doesn't drive me, you know, like that doesn't. It's like wow, dude. It's like grinding it out to find this amazing set of armor or whatever, right? Like, you know, and that's why I loved Guild Wars. That's why I was a Guild Wars player, because there was a goal. It was like, get X amount of this to eventually get this, and then you've got this, and that's what fueled my gameplay. It was like, I love the way this Vabian armor looks, and I love Nightfall and that expansion. I love the story around it, but I enjoyed that grind, and I knew that that end goal was going to get met with time put in. I don't like random, you know, oh, if you play the game for 4 years, you might get this random drop that gives you this. I'm not into that. That doesn't interest me at all. That annoys the shit out of me. So, you know what I mean? Like, oh no, I'm good. I don't sell me on random. You know, if you give me a goal and you say, if you do this X amount of times and you invest this time and whatever into this, you're eventually going to get here, then I'll tell you if it's worth it to me. Like, that's for me, that's creativity, because how can I solve that problem in Empyrion? How can I reach that faster? How can I mine more efficiently? How can I process faster? You know, how could I trade faster? If I could find, you know, what I need to gather close enough to a trade hub that I can then, and now I have a trade route, and now I can calculate how long that's going to take me to do that. That's fun. That's gameplay. That's reality. I mean, you would do that in real life, you know, like you look at Expanse and you look at miners, and, you know, they would have to go mine this, and then they'd have to go back to the station and sell it. And that's literal. That makes sense. There's RP in that. Randomness is not fun, dude. It's fucking annoying and lazy. Yeah, No Man's Sky suffers from that. Sitting there at hangars waiting for an S ship to show up. Ugh. Nah, I'm good. Yeah, that's, you know, and I've wanted to go back to No Man's Sky because I know there's been a lot of development and stuff, and I've wanted to do it, but something in my head is like, it's just going to be the same thing, man. I'm just going to be sitting there manipulating the exchange, you know, trades of hangars and selling high, whatever, making an infinite amount of money, and then sitting there waiting at hangars for S ships because they exist. So if this exists and I know I can get it, why would I be comfortable in this class of ship? Why wouldn't I sit there and just wait for this S ship? And that's what's annoying to me. It's like that exists is what frustrates the shit out of me, you know? And you could say RTGs and Empyrion are the same way, but I mean, that's just a unicorn I'm not going to run after. Like, if I get it, I get it. But I'm not going to grind a bunch of abandoned shit to hopefully find an RTG. If it shows up, it does. But that doesn't, you know, this game, you can create your own content. No Man's Sky, you can't. Your content is based around core objectives that the game created for you. Thanks, Will. I appreciate that, man. Pokemon Snap. Right? Oh my god. Yeah, so there you go. That's a perfect example. True story. Down here where I live on this little island, Pokemon Go was a freaking movement. When that shit came out, a big population of the community down here started playing it. It was hilarious. We had one gym. No, we had two gyms on the island. And one of them was downtown Main Street on the island, and you would have a crowd of people. And I'm not talking about kids either. I'm talking about from kids to middle age, including me and my buddy Neil would be down there playing this stupid game for hours on end, catching. I'd never watched Pokemon in my life. I didn't know anything about it. I just thought it was interesting, to go hang out and do this random weird thing. And, every once in a while. And then the problem is Neil told me about, the freaking 100%, the IV score of the Pokemon, right? Like you could catch a Pokemon, but it might be a shitty one, or you can have a really high perfect one. Oh, so once that mechanic was thought of, and once you can track it, it was like, this randomness that just made the game really annoying, if that makes sense. And I stopped playing it because I was like, whatever. But yeah, I mean, it's like that basically. It's totally like that, same freaking thing. I don't know, randomness sucks.
Yeah, it was a big old explosion up here too for
oh yeah,
when it came out. And I grew up with it. Like I watched the cartoon, I had Pokemon cards growing up, all that. Yeah. So I played it for a bit, and I'm like, like it got me out walking and going out and about kind of thing. But eventually I'm just like, I'm done with this. But I still know people to this day that still play it and all this stuff. I'm like, yeah.
It's a cool, it's a cool game mechanic. It's a cool concept. Like, no shots at the, I mean, it did get people to kind of move around, and it was interesting. Like, it was an interesting take on a mobile game, because I'm not a big mobile game player at all. Like, I bought Final Fantasy VII on my phone thinking I was gonna like, wow, I get to play Final Fantasy wherever I go. It's amazing. Yeah, not so much. I don't, I'm too old to sit there and stare at a little screen, and it just wasn't fun. But no, that game was interesting. I wish that they would come out with other things. I wish there was some way to do that with Star Wars or something, that would be in the same kind of vein. Not necessarily catching something, but something that implemented a community around a game like that was like, I don't know how that would work. If we figure it out, we'd make millions of dollars maybe. I don't know. But yeah, I had no knocks on the game itself. I mean, I thought it was really, really, and I guess it's still a thing, right? I mean, people still play that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and people have gotten better at just faking their location so they can stay at home. And
well, that was a thing, right? Yeah, that was a thing. You use the what was that? There was an app for that, right? Where it
yeah.
The tracking app, or yeah, because there's certain ones you can't catch unless you're on a certain continent, and unless you're able to go to every continent, like how do you get this thing in Japan and this thing, and what I mean, like in Europe, and yeah, and that's it. That's where the game gets messed up, right? Because it's like, yeah, you could travel and I mean, who could do that, handful of people. Everybody else is screwed. Ghostbusters did that. Oh, that's cool. Oh, really? I gotta check that. That's kind of cool, man. What'd you guys think of the last Ghostbusters movie? I was like, I thought it was awesome. And I guess they're gonna make another one from that same with the same little girl or whatever. Oh, that was pretty cool. Oh, it got canceled. Oh, that sucks. Oh, the walk for 10K? But yeah, I mean, if you got to do that anyway, right? Like, it's a motivation to do it, you know?
Well, I am going to have to hop off here so I can go start cooking myself some supper.
All right, bro. Well, thanks for popping in, man. Appreciate the conversation.
Not a problem. Enjoy and good work on the build so far.
Thanks, bro. You don't live in the... No, I don't. So I'm American. Born in Long Beach, California. Lived in the U.S. until 2009. And then I moved down here to the Caribbean, where I've been living up until now. And yeah, it's I mean, I'm like half an hour away from the U.S. Virgin Islands, so I'm not far from U.S. territory. I go over there to go grocery shopping sometimes and stuff, but yeah, no, I live over here. It's where my family is and everything. So yeah, it's interesting. In the middle of building a massive CV last night, I accidentally hit the power button and the save vanished when I rebooted. Would I do it again? Ah. I mean, if the same reason that I came down here, then yeah, I would have to, right? But yeah, no, dude, I miss the US definitely. I really miss the US. But, you know, there's aspects of here that I think are better too, so it's a mixed bag. The convenience is you know, a lot of what I miss. The convenience that you know, like the US, and I imagine other big developed countries have that we just don't have a lot of that stuff down here. You know. Oh, do they, Dantan? That's awesome, man. Yeah, it's a beautiful place to visit, but I mean, it does have its, you know, it's slow. I would compare it to like a really small southern town or whatever, you know. It's like kind of that small town lifestyle, which is great. I mean, there's certain aspects of that are amazing, you know. I think the school systems down here are great, and it's a lot safer, you know. There's yeah, I mean, a lot of that's great, you know. Electrical, yeah, I mean, it's just so many little things like that, right, that are super annoying. Bro, Stan, yeah, that alone right there, dude. Like, oh, I missed that. We don't have any. We have one local hardware store. It's not bad, but everything's just really expensive because of importing. And then it's not refreshed enough. Like, so the newer stuff, the better stuff, you don't always see it here. Because things just move slower here. I mean, you just don't have a lot of the technology and stuff. Like, there's no Apple Store. There's no like if you order something online that doesn't work, you're kind of screwed. It's not like you could just go, hey, send me a package that I could send this in and get my warranty back, or none of that really means anything down here. So you just kind of have to settle for getting screwed. So it's a lot of that, but it's with that comes some better, right? It's beautiful, dude. It's really beautiful down here. It's summer all year round. It's I mean, but then you have Category 5 hurricanes every once in a while that come through here and ruin everything. So like, yeah. Yeah, so Pantetta, she remembers the States when we lived there before, right? Before we moved down here. And then, she's acclimated. She's American in a lot of ways, so it's not, she loves it. She's totally great with it. Like, there's not a lot of it's cold. It's cold for her, but little XCal has only known here, so when she goes up there, she gets really excited because there's fast food and stores with big toy sections, and that's something we don't have down here. We don't, you can't go into there's no department stores or anything down here, so there's maybe one aisle of a couple toys and that's it. But you go to the States and you go to Toys R Us, or you go to Walmart, or you go to Target or whatever, it's like, it's insane. It's like, oh my god, look at all these things I want, look at all these. Yeah, so it's just, for a kid, it's amazing. And then there's just, we went to, we did the Disneyland thing and the Universal Studios thing a year or two back, and it was, dude, it was insane. Life-changing, right? So, but yeah, I think anywhere you move, right, there's always going to be some, susception to natural disasters, or just something that makes it, and that really wasn't a factor for us until it happened, until Irma happened, and, our lives were turned completely upside down, right? Like, that was a huge thing, that happened, and, not having power for 8 months, it's just puts things in perspective, But once you survive something like that, it's like, yeah, I mean, things are properly put in their place, as far as, concerns and worries and stuff, so. Yeah, Filbert, definitely. And I mean, all the way up when I was in elementary school, I mean, we would do drills, and the big one, and then, I think it was, what was that earthquake? And was it Riverdale or Riverside? I don't remember the name of the city, but that earthquake was pretty bad. And huh? No, I didn't buy Tostitos. You should have told me. I would have bought Tostitos. You want some dips and chips? You want the salsa? There's no, I think there's Tostitos in the kitchen. Yeah, go check. Go check. I think there's half a bag somewhere. It's just nature doing her thing at the end of the day. Moving somewhere in your neighbor's a drone bay. I'm just waiting for the gamma ray burst from the sun that's going to wipe it. Oh, nice. Yeah. What was your biggest cultural shock when you moved from the States? Well, initially it was the bugs. There's a lot of bugs down here, dude. There's a lot of really weird freaking bugs. A lot of mosquitoes. Mosquitoes that carry all kinds of messed up things, viruses, and that was bad because I was, you know, I'm Irish, freaking, you know, pale and susceptible to the sun and all that shit, and it was rough, man. But you get acclimated, you know, and eventually, you know, just the sand flies at the beach suck. Like, there's certain things that suck, but you get used to it with anything, right? So that was probably the, and then food was the thing, man. You know, grew up American food, Mexican food, you know, your basic, you know, Italian food and your Chinese food, and that was about the extent of my, you know, and then Cajun, my dad, you know, so you know, southern food and stuff, you know, but that's it. Like, it didn't get any more exotic than that. So coming down here and not knowing what anything is by looking at it and not finding the foods that you're used to, and then really the only representation of American food being hamburgers and pizza, yeah, it gets to you after a while, but you just make your own food, so or you get used to some of the foods, and there is some of the local stuff that I do like, and you know, I'm okay with and stuff, so yeah, you just get used to it with anything, right? Don't mention Italian food. Yeah, okay, I'm sorry. I fully recognize that American Italian food is not Italian food. I totally understand that. But a good buddy of my dad is from Milan, and you know, so Italian food was represented, I think, properly in my household. It's all about using the proper cheese, right? What is it? The Parmigiano? I forget. Some big thing that's a big game changer. Gotta be it's the cheeses, man. It's the cheeses. It's the type of it's how you make the noodles properly. There's a lot of things you gotta do correctly. The correct tomatoes. Yeah, no shortcuts. Reggiano, I watch a lot of cooking stuff on YouTube too, man. I'm like really into a lot of like cooking stuff and cooking shows, and there's a couple Italian cooking shows I watch. I think this is coming along, guys. What do you guys think? I think this is working out rather nicely here. I don't think that gap serves anything. You can't see enough of it to make it make sense. Yeah, well, hopefully soon, man. Parmigiano Reggiano, Grana Padano, Pecorino Romano. Nice, nice. See, coming from somebody that doesn't like cheese, yeah. But I like I guess I can't say I like Parmesan. That's cheese. I like That's kind of where the list ends though. Like I don't know. I've never liked cheese since I was a kid. Well, it's got hard points. We'll get the hard points then. Definitely. I'm just trying to make the shape interesting here. I guess we could do that now, right? Let's get some weapons on this thing and see what we got. Just gonna go stock for now, I think. Is there tier 1 positron? Or is it only heavy? I'm confused. Where's the regular positrons? Are you gonna use max setting when you show off this item? What does that mean? Yeah, don't I always do that? I mean, I'm on max now, right? Like, well, I guess we tweaks. Oh, why is VSync off? Should VSync be off? Wasn't there an issue and I had to turn it off? I don't remember. Oh, okay, I see. So yeah, I think we tweaked some of it because it was bad. Yeah, Gato. No, I fully understand, dude. Fully understand. Yeah, and I think that's cool. I think that's actually really awesome. Like, especially, like, I've always, yeah, doing like a food tour of Italy would be freaking amazing, man. But I just feel like because I don't like cheese, I feel like it would be pointless for me to do it. 'Cause I just feel bad that, you know, can I get this without cheese? Be like, what? What the? Oh, what are you talking about? Maybe. I guess that. You know what it is, too? It's the texture. It's not necessarily cheese. It's melted cheese. But I eat pizza. But I don't like pizza that has a lot of cheese. So it's like, it's got to be in proper balance to other ingredient ratio. Like, it's got like a certain amount of cheese I can handle, and I need it. But too much, and it's horrible. I hate it. But like a grilled cheese sandwich, no. Disgusting. I'll gag all over the place, right? But I gotta have heavy Parmesan, like on my, you know, my spaghetti or my Alfredo or whatever. Like, that's a thing. No, I'm lactose intolerant too, so that's another thing. That's developed with age, right? Like, I used to drink whole milk, like, no problem. Now I can't. So I have a real issue. Yeah, see, I can't eat ice cream. Yeah, like, I could do like a little bit of sour cream, like in my potatoes, stuff like that. Like, I could kind of do some of that, but not a lot. You get real. Oh, really? Wow. Lucky you guys. Also, I didn't say it either in the stream here, but shout out to Neil, man. Got married yesterday. Did the wedding and everything. It was awesome. He's currently on his honeymoon for the next week here, so big hype to Neil. To another smaller island. That's basically it. Yeah, it's kind of a big combat slash heavy dense miner slash high G dropship. It's got a got kind of a lot of different functions, to be honest. One ship to rule them all. One ship to bind them all. Oh, that just reminded me of the fact that I used to play Lord of the Rings online, and I was part of this role-playing guild called Tin and Tior, and we would do marches to Rivendell. What was it, every couple weeks? Where we would sing songs and speak Elven. I was never very good at it, but I just thought, I don't know, I just appreciated the fact that there was so much dedication. It was hilarious. I was just in awe at that. Like, there's so much dedication here. Like, people literally speaking in Elven. Super nerdy. See, I don't want it to look like Turret Lord. I don't want to do this. I don't know any Elven anymore, dude. All I know is May Governor. That's all I know. Well met, sir. That is all I know. That might have been all I ever did, though, to be honest. Nah, I think I knew a little more of it. Not much. How do I want to do this? Like, I don't want to just have a row of launchers. Like, that looks stupid. I don't want that. Yeah, selling exactly. Do I want to have like a bludgeon kind of top fixture? Or do I want to make this a flight deck? But I just don't see a big need for that. Like, I want this to be capable. Yeah, steps, like so there's that way, or there's the bludgeon way, right? Where you have it vertically stepped instead of, like, I don't want the look of like an upward fin like that. Like, I want it to, God, how do I want to do this? I mean, I guess it could be pretty, like, really low profile. So I could do it like that, maybe. I don't know. I could do like a, like, let's say I do that, right? And then come on. Yeah, see, I don't want to... I don't want that look. I think there's still an option for me to do something low profile without it having to stack so much. Because honestly, like, there's still room to put more, right? So I could even go, like... But the idea would be to just kind of... So you look at that, that's 9. But I don't know. Or is this where I test out some of the new stuff? Is this where I get away from kind of the standard stuff and test out some of these new things? Like, you know, what's up with these rocket thingies, silo thingies? These things, what are these things any good? Like, is anybody using these things? Like, you know, let's implement some of that in here. Like, is that a thing? I don't know. Well, see, that would be fine on this build, right? Wait, these are manually fired? Alright, so that's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I just gotta figure out style-wise, like, how I want to do that. You know, with the bar, which isn't comparable, but, you know, I mean, there's hard points, there's, you know, so, I mean, I could do that. I mean, I could definitely build out some hard points here and make it look interesting, but I want to, you know, I want to keep pushing the envelope a little bit. Oh, yeah. That is a thing. Yeah, thanks, man. And this railgun isn't worth a shit, or? So it's manual fire. As a block, though, that's awesome, dude. Look at that. I love how it, like, look at that, dude. You could build off of that and make it whatever. It's pretty cool. What do you mean turn it on? Chip's on. Oh. Yeah, that's cool. What's funny is I've made one of these on that EOD tank. On the super tool. Ah. My tank. Tanky tank. Wow, that's loud. See, I was putting landing bays on HVs before you could dock SVs to them. Hell yeah. Guys, so I said I was gonna do the interior, and I didn't touch the interior, but we got a lot of shaping done today. I think it looks like a shippy ship, which I'm happy about. So it looks like a proper shippy ship. I think it's gonna be good. I just gotta figure out how the weapons, maximum amount of weapons, low profile. Like I'll figure it out. But yeah, I mean, you know, I've done some other combat CVs that were small, like the Flechette would probably be the best example of the maximum amount of turrets on such a small, you know, thing with full line of sight, right? See, this is how all my save games have an enormous amount of crap. Is because I spawn things when I talk about them, but you know, hard points, so 6, and then, you know, 4 times 24, so 24 turrets, line of sight at all times. Small package, so you know, this thing's smaller than that, so something like that. But you know, I don't know, I'll figure it out. We shall continue, but I think that's gonna be it for today, guys. Thanks as always. Appreciate Darkest Warrior coming in. The conversation definitely helps getting the a lot of the shaping and stuff. You know, sometimes when you don't have your full attention on something, it tends to flow a little better, so I appreciate that. And yeah, thanks everybody participating and having fun, man. So tentatively tomorrow we have base tours, and we'll see if Jay's able to show up. If not, it'll be just little old me checking out what you guys have done in the server. Till then, guys, stay tuned for the raid, And thanks as always. Wow, there's nobody streaming. You know, I don't get to do this all the time, guys. I'm gonna stream somebody that's playing something completely different, because I watch this guy's content every day. Solid guy. We're gonna go ahead and raid Willjum. Screw it. And never mind, because it's an AFK. Nah, we're not gonna do that. Hold on. We'll find somebody better. It's an AFK stream for drops. That's stupid. Who else can we raid here? Oh, I know. We'll raid Jericho, man. Jericho raids us too a lot. He's playing some Conan.